Here's the problem nobody wants to talk about. Our entire asteroid warning system has a blind spot, a region of the sky hidden by the sun's glare, where a space rock can approach Earth completely undetected until it's practically on top of us. That's exactly how 2024 YR4 slipped through. It had already passed its closest point to Earth before a single telescope on the planet picked it up. But here's what's changing. New technology, a planned space telescope, and the hard lessons from 2 record-breaking asteroids are closing that gap for good. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly how close we came, what we're doing about it, and why the next decade is the most important in the history of planetary defense. On December 27, 2024, a telescope in the Chilean desert picked up something moving through the night sky. It wasn't a comet, it wasn't space junk. It was a rock, roughly 53 to 67 meters across. That's about 174 to 220 feet tall. Picture a 15-story building hurtling through space at tens of thousands of miles per hour. They called it Asteroid 2024 YR4. Now here's where it gets serious. Within days of spotting it, automated warning systems flagged it. The numbers came back, and they were not good. This thing had a 1.3% chance of hitting Earth on December 22, 2032. That's a 1 in 83 shot. Now I know what you're thinking. 1.3% sounds small, but out of more than 37,000 near-Earth asteroids already discovered, this was the only one with better than a 1 in 1,000 chance of impact. Every other rock out there, essentially zero. This one, climbing. And then it kept climbing. By February 18th, 2025, the probability hit 2.8%, then briefly touched 3.1%. Scientists at ESA, the European Space Agency, confirmed it. 2024 YR4 had just surpassed Apophis as the most dangerous asteroid ever officially recorded in human history. Let that sink in for a second. In the entire history of mankind tracking space rocks, with all our satellites, all our telescopes, all our computing power, no asteroid had ever reached this level of confirmed threat. Not one. And the kicker? Remember that blind spot I mentioned at the top of this video? That gap in our detection system where the sun blocks our view? That's exactly how 2024 YR4 snuck up on us. It approached from the direction of the sun and had already made its closest pass to Earth 2 days before anyone even spotted it. We were lucky. This time. Now, to understand just how alarming this was, you need to know about something called the Torino Scale. Think of it like a hurricane category system, but for asteroid threats. 0 means no danger. 10 means a civilization-ending impact is certain. Most newly discovered asteroids briefly hit a 1 before dropping back to 0 as scientists gather more data. 2024, YR4 hit a 3. The only asteroid in recorded history to score higher was Apophis back in 2004, when it briefly reached a 4. And we'll get to Apophis in a minute, because that story is far from over. A Torino 3 means this: the object merits serious attention from astronomers and public officials. It's not a drill, it's not a precaution. It's a real, active, coordinated international response. And that's exactly what happened. For the first time in history, 2024 YR4 triggered a full global planetary defense response. NASA, ESA, and the International Asteroid Warning Network all locked in. Telescopes around the world, including the James Webb Space Telescope, were pointed at this thing. Here's the part that's counterintuitive, and this tripped up a lot of people in the news coverage. As scientists gathered more data, the probability of impact actually went up before it came down. That's not a bad sign. That's just math. As the uncertainty shrinks, Earth fills a larger fraction of the possible impact zone. It looks scarier before it gets clearer. And eventually, it did get clearer. By March 2025, astronomers had enough data. Earth impact in 2032 ruled out. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. The asteroid didn't just disappear from the threat list, it shifted targets. As of the last observations before 2024, YR4 faded out of telescope range. It carried a 4% chance of hitting the moon on December 22nd, 2032. And that probability was still slowly rising when we lost sight of it. Now, a 4% lunar impact probability might not sound like much, but think about it this way. That's a 1 in 25 shot that we watch a 200-foot space rock slam into the moon in real time. Scientists are genuinely excited about this possibility, not because it's dangerous to us, but because it would be the most valuable natural experiment in the history of planetary science. We won't know for sure until June 2028, when the asteroid comes back into view. Until then, we wait. But while we're waiting, there's another asteroid you need to know about. One that's been in the crosshairs far longer. One that's going to make history in just a few years, whether it hits anything or not. In June 2004, a team of astronomers at Kitt Peak National Observatory in Arizona spotted something unusual. A rock 375 meters across. That's roughly 1,230 feet long, about the length of 4 football fields, and taller than the Empire State Building. They named it Apophis, after the Egyptian god of chaos and destruction. Within months, the calculations came back with a 2.7% chance of impact on April 13th, 2029. That date, Friday the 13th, was not lost on anyone. Apophis hit a Torino Scale rating of 4, the highest any asteroid has ever reached. The scientific community went into full alert mode, but tracking Apophis wasn't simple. Some years, it's too close to the sun to observe. Gravity from other planets can nudge its path. And there's something called the Yarkovsky effect. Sunlight actually pushes on asteroids like a tiny thruster, slowly changing their course over time. You have to account for all of it. In 2013, Apophis made a close pass, about 9 million miles out, and astronomers tracked it intensely for 2 weeks. The data came back clean. No impact in 2029. No impact in 2036. Torino rating dropped to 0. But here's what 0 doesn't mean. 0 doesn't mean gone. 0 means the known risk is negligible for the next 100 years. Apophis is still coming. On April 13th, 2029, this rock is going to pass closer to Earth than our own geostationary satellites. Closer than the TV satellites beaming football games into your living room right now. It will be visible to the naked eye over the Atlantic, Europe, Africa, and Asia. Here's the part of this story that actually gives you reason to feel good. We are not the dinosaurs. In 2022, DART mission, the Double Asteroid Redirection Test, deliberately slammed a spacecraft into an asteroid called Dimorphos and successfully changed its orbit. It worked. Planetary defense is no longer theoretical. It's been tested. For Apophis, NASA has redirected the OSIRIS-REx spacecraft, the same one that returned samples from asteroid Bennu, to intercept Apophis during its 2029 flyby. The goal is to study it up close, understand how it behaves near a massive gravitational body like Earth, and gather data that could help us respond to future threats. For 2024 YR4, the situation is trickier. The window to observe it is narrow. The composition is uncertain. Some scientists have floated the idea that if the lunar impact probability keeps rising, we may need to consider deflection options, though most expect the probability to drop to zero once we reacquire it in 2028. And remember that blind spot from the top of this video? The one that let 2024 YR4 sneak past us in the first place? That's finally getting fixed too. ESA ran simulations on a planned space telescope called NEOMER, designed specifically to watch for asteroids approaching from the direction of the Sun. That exact blind spot that hid 2024 YR4 until it was almost past us. The results were striking. NEOMER would have detected 2024 YR4 a full month earlier than ground-based telescopes did. That's a month of additional tracking data, a month of better orbital calculations, a month that could be the difference between panic and preparation. NEOMER is planned for launch in the early 2030s, and later this year, the Vera Rubin Observatory in Chile, home to the largest digital camera ever built, begins scanning the night sky in unprecedented detail. The more we look, the more we find, and the more we find, the better our chances of never being caught off guard again. The blind spot is closing, and not a moment too soon. So here's where we stand. Apophis is coming in 2029. No impact, but the closest shave in recorded history. 2024 YR4 is out there somewhere, carrying a 4% chance of hitting the moon, and we won't know the answer until 2028. We live on a planet in a solar system full of rocks. Scientists have been saying for years, it's not if a large asteroid threatens human life, it's when. The difference between us and the dinosaurs is that we can see it coming. The blind spot that nearly blindsided us is being closed. The tools are getting sharper, and for the first time in history, we actually have a plan. And now, so do you. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe to Space Aquarius so you never miss what's coming next. Drop a comment below and tell us which of these two asteroids concerns you more, Apophis or 2024 YR4. And if you know someone who'd want to know about this, share this video with them right now. It only takes a second, and it might just be the most interesting thing they watch all week.